What's that? Off this.
Right, hello there, my name is Will, and we are here for the TroveGP 2012, round 12 of this championship. And this is a new addition to TroveGP. I'm a commentator for the live streams, so enjoy the race. We're at Spa-Francorchamps at the moment in Belgium, but first I'm going to fill you in on the championship so far. So here's Include now, starting his lap. Apparently the lap counter is a lot, but I'm sure that's just the game. So he's blasting through Rouge now, very good, just getting the corner of the tyres and opens up the DRS for the straight. So let's go with the season so far. Include 76, who is leading the Driver Championship so far, with 176 points, but Enemy Mine in 174 points, just 2 points behind. This race will be proved to be very critical indeed. Include 76, who did win the Hungarian Grand Prix last week, and Enemy Mine took a week off this time. The rule for this championship is that drivers need to skip 3 of the 20 races. They can choose, I think, whenever they like to do this, but they have to skip 3. So Enemy will be looking for a 2-win streak after his win at the Hungaroring. However, he will now have to contend in all of the remaining races, as he has skipped 3 races already. Enemy has won 3 races, and Include 76 has won 5. And Fujin, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, he's sitting in 3rd place, just 18 points behind Enemy Mine. And he's also won 3 races, so it's very close on the winning front, but not necessarily in the championship. He is a good 20 points behind. So the 2 top spots, of course, is Enemy Mine and Include 76. So it should be an exciting rest of the season. As Include 76 just finishes his lap, 1:46 I believe it was, and AM39844 has gone into the pits. Asteroid here on his lap, and that's 1:47.6 in relation to the world record on this modern track is 1:47.263. So he has, he's 4/10 of a second off the world record. Obviously it's going to be very different in game, but that's just a rough benchmark to make a comparison for. So Sebastian Vettel with the 1:47.263 in 2010, I believe, is the world record on this modern track. But Spa-Francorchamps has been around since 1921, the pre-war circuit, 9.3 miles long, shortened it to 4.3. Spa-Francorchamps also had very, very dangerous parts where many drivers in fact lost their lives. which is why it was shortened later after the Second World War, and also so here's Asteroid going on for another lap, just completing sector 2 here as he goes into his final sector. Let's see what it can bring. Very clean so far. And now we're going to take a look at Texon, as he is also on his final lap, just opening up his DRS on that short straight out of Lecune as he goes into Rivage, I believe it is. Now he'll be trying his luck at the legendary Pouan turn, which he does perfectly, just kissing the apex on the exit and giving himself lots of exit on that end of Pouan. As he goes into Fania, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce it. Getting both wheels off the track there, but it's still valid as he uses up the rest of his curves with this long straight up into 7th gear around Blanchimont and up to the dreaded chicane, braking hard into this turn. Vital that you get your setup correct for this loop is very vital indeed. Opening up the DRS to improve the lap, and he's got 147.8, and that has put him in 4th place. It's a very respectable lap. Just 7 minutes left qualifying then, as Include 76 is on yet another lap. 146.6 is in his record, so that has his lap, so that has beaten Vettel in the World Championship. So Include sits in 1st place as he goes into pits for a well-deserved break. Chris B, running in 2nd place at the moment, is going out for his flying lap. So another car to dodge out the way there. And once again we have a master of Pouan. He seems to be doing it very quickly, even though it's not his flying lap. It's very impressive indeed. So let me just run through the teams that are contending. So Enemy 9 and Chris B are the Brain Dead Racing team, Williams. Include 76 and Texon are the Austrian Telemetry Drunkies, who are racing as the Caterhams. Just going to have a look at Asteroid. But here is Texon. Fujian is into his flying lap. We'll take a look at this, are we? So let me see, Asksol and Saints, who is standing there, and also AM39 and 844 are Team Quest, which make up. They are McLaren, and Fujian and MotoGP Freak, and sometimes Noya as well. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Our Team Fujian, and there are Saubers, who we're watching here. Fujian on his flying lap, just masked as so rude. Opens of DRS, and here we go down the Kemmel Straight. Masters Lecune, and he's got a slower car behind him who will no doubt move out of the way. And he has indeed run off the circuit. Very respectable driving from both of them. So we're just watching Fujian go for his lap. The lap counters seem to be a bit messed up on this, but actually that's not the truth, because he can't have done 20 seconds by now. That would be incredible. As he goes round to the curve pit there, onto the penultimate bend here, which is Blanchiment. So you can do in 7th gear all the way round. Very, very dangerous to do with the DRS open. In fact, we would turn it off going around that turn. I would do the same if I was driving. Into the last turn, giving him a bit of room on the exit. Yes, he's giving himself plenty. Lots of runoff, and there we go for a lap. Let's see what the time is. 1:47.2. He's put him in 3rd place. It's a very good lap, but it's early days yet. Well, in fact, there's only 3 minutes left. As Asteroid is just going to be coming through Blanchiment there, finishing his lap. As Texon is just going to outlap. Enemy Mine also coming up to Blanchiment. There's a lot of people coming up to Blanchiment at the moment. All looking to complete their laps, but Enemy Mine all the way down to 6th place. He's going to have to do something. And Fujin has retired. Let's see if we can... I wonder why that's happened. Find out soon. Enemy Mine comes through to complete his lap. What has he got? 1:48.4. It's not good enough, and he remains in 6th position out of the 9 drivers who are here today. So 1:48.4, really not what he was looking for, I'm sure. As a MotoGP freak, he's in ninth, he hasn't set a time yet. And here's Include, just coming through sector 2 now. Doing that very well indeed. Can't fault these drivers, fantastic. There we go, and coming down to the curve 4th there. Look at that behind view there. See the DRS working. Let's see if you keep the DRS open through this turn, through Blanchiment. I know many people don't, but it's a risk some are willing to take, and he does do it, and he does it perfectly. Just kisses the apex on the way out, which is sometimes a way of getting back on track. As he goes around the last turn, has he given him enough room? Ooh, he had to turn out a bit, but plenty of exit. I think he did that very slowly, but slowly but surely. And here we go, and that's first place. 1:46.6. I think he was first place anyway, but I can't remember. As Chris B doesn't post that lap, Asteroid Seoul is going to be completing his lap very shortly. Let's take a look at So we're into the last 52 seconds, if you want to be very precise. And Enemy Mine is going to finish his lap, and that does not change his position at all. And he takes a little lock up into turn 1. There must be some issue there with Enemy Mine, unless this is just his unlucky circuit. I think he's going to have one more turn. He doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. So let's see what happens. He hasn't got long to complete this lap, but he won't cross the line in time, so he won't be able to complete this. Sorry, he will be able to complete this. He won't be able to start the next lap. But this is his last chance to make an impression on the start of the race. And we got a retirement, Texon. Don't know what's happening there, but we'll probably find out very soon. I don't know if you can hear the team radios as they're coming through curve 4. Oh, and he just ran off a bit there. I don't know what effect that's going to have on his lap, but it might be all that difference between going higher than 6th and staying there for the race, which is very important indeed. He's not hugely dangerous. He didn't take his DRS on there, and he is using the grass quite a lot. And in fact, he has no time to finish the lap. So there we go. Include 76 has won the qualifying, followed by Chris B, the 2 Austrians, and Enemy. I think it's an Austrian flag. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Enemy Mine in 3rd place. and Fujin in 4th. So Enemy Mine did manage to pick up a few positions, funnily enough, so that was a very good lap indeed in the end. Must have made up a second unless the picture was glitching.
Was hast du das für einen Startplatz?
Hinter dir.
Auf Hart oder Wach?
Viert.
Ja, ich bin mit den Wachen losgefahren.
There you go, I think we're just
Ja,
getting my
jetzt total
volume control
verpackt.
sorted
Ich hab
out
kein
so you
bisschen
can
mehr
actually
gehabt,
hear
ich
me
bin
a
mit
bit
Standard
louder,
gefahren die meiste Zeit.
which would be a very good prospect
Ja,
indeed.
das ist blöd, ja.
Ich
And it
war
looks
richtig
like
schnell.
is that a 10 place penalty for AM3?
Jetzt habe ich
I'm
einen
sure
Reifen,
that's
4
not
Runden oder 5.
I'm sorry, I don't think he did anything
Phew.
bad. I think that's just he didn't even post a time.
Ja, ganz schön. Also gutes Rennen dir.
Ja, danke dir auch.
So just Chris B that separates the two title contenders. I reckon this is going to be a very good race. So stick with me. This will be very exciting. And there's the driver getting out of the car. Just having a little celebration, but there's much more to come in just a couple of minutes' time when the race gets underway. So congratulations to those 3 drivers who got the podium spot. Here we are, it's time for the race. Just gonna wait for the countdown to start so I can begin my expectations so I can see what's going on.
Benzin
Let's take a look once more at that table for the start of the race. Includes 76, who is at the top of the Drivers' Championship, is in pole position. I'm sure that's exactly what he's looking for. He'll be wanting to win the rest of the races this season to secure his win, but as I said, there are 8 races left including this one, so there's a lot to do.
Ja, beim letzten Rennen bin ich 1 zu viel gegangen. Da bin ich glaube ich schon zu 13 erst.
Okay.
I think we're just waiting for the all clear so that everyone's ready to go, and then you can join me on this 22 lap race of Francorchamps. Just looking at the race strategies here. Looks like the recommended stop time's lap 9, so it'll be interesting to see what the actual drivers will come out with, because they don't necessarily have to stick to that recommendation, obviously.
Was war's, Flügel? Die vorbei uns.
Ja.
We'll be going to track shortly, be aware. Complete, ready.
So here we are, it's time to go. To get this race underway, I'm just waiting for my spectator to get going, and then we can watch this race from the all-new commentary box.
Top 4 finish.
Which is in fact a tail cam of several cars. So here we are, just awaiting the 5 lights to go out, and here we are underway. And let's see what happens into turn 1, see if we can see what happens as includes 76. It looked like a very good start, but he's got someone coming out of the outside, and is that what's his name, is that Chris B just slipping behind? Very clean into turn 1, doesn't look like any contact has been made, but I can't see so far. take a look at Chris B, who did make his way, he stayed in second place. Let's see what Enemy Mine can do from, I believe, is he still in third place? We'll just have to have a look. Or there's someone going around the inside there, but he has the inside line once again, Chris B, so he can maintain his second position. Enemy Mine here in third, challenging, and Chris B is challenging for first place, but Include 76 is maintaining a very good defensive line and just manages to keep him, and Chris B and Enemy Mine just keeping a very wide line there, as Enemy Mine's cars has almost been expended for this lap. He's really pressuring Chris B now, he's looking to get him, but fourth place is indeed catching up. This is Fujin we're watching now from fourth place, so we can see the three drivers ahead of him, all pressing each other to try and get ahead. As we see Chris Brown, Chris B's gone, I was about to say Chris Brown then, Chris B has slipped away and has let Enemy Mine through, and Fujin has got a very, very small gap between his, Fujin's got a very small gap between, and Fujin in fact has got ahead of Enemy Mine, has he? Yes, he's got the inside line, and has forced Enemy Mine off the track. It's not a great start on the first lap of the race for Enemy Mine, but he's in fact being pressured by fifth place. I don't know who it is yet, but it's another Sauber, who is the, I think it's MotoGP Freak, and Chris B in fourth place then. Chris B has dropped down from second place to fourth place because Fujin has made up to third place, and MotoGP Freak will be looking to challenge, going through Eau Rouge. Let's see what he can do. He has lost a little bit of time, but he's not too late. And through 9, just shorten that a bit, is, here we go. And Texon is right up behind him, he's going to use his burst. And no, he's not going to risk it. And he's got another driver on his right hand side. Let's see who that is. Is that Asteroid Soul has gone through and left Texon behind. I believe Texon has just lost, and that's two cars shooting off there. Texon, Include 76 still leading. Texon down in 6th still. Sorry, 8. And Asteroid Soul is now going to be looking to defend that position. As named Asteroid Soul, so not Asteroid Soul there, the one behind him has going wide a bit again. Struggling, sorry, it's Texon, struggling with lockups on that. Include leading still, but by Enemy Mine, so this is the two drivers looking to make an impact on the Drivers' Championship. Very exciting first two laps so far as we go into Blanchimont, going into the chicane. Let's see if any outbraking can be done. Perhaps he can go, no, doesn't look, and that looks like Chris B in third place, having a bit of trouble on the lockup. And let's see what's going to happen to him. Enemy Mine is running in second place. But Chris B looks like he's maintained his third place and Fujin just behind. There's some action going on in fifth place. Someone has just retaken fifth place. That's the second McLaren at the back there, having a bit of a lock-up into the source. That was Asteroid Soul, who was in fact in the position, but nearly pushed Fujin, sorry, not Fujin, AM398 into the wall, and Asteroid Soul taking it terribly. And there's a contact, there's contact. It doesn't look like it's made an effect, but the front, and that's a Caterham running through there. Goodness me, and that was aggressive driving from all three of them, a bit very unsettled going down Chemo Straight. But Asteroid Soul looking to regain 6th position after that slight bit of trouble on a Rouge. And he is going to be going down the inside, bit of a lockup there. It looks like he might get, in fact, the outside line. They nearly made contact. And he has to stop, he's going down the outside. No way he could have made that inside line. And there's a Sauber going through the middle. Goodness me, I didn't see that coming. And this is a battle for 8th place, so whoever's in at the back there, I believe it's Fujin at the back, or maybe MotoGP Freak in fact, struggling a bit at the back of the field. As we got a Caterham off that, Who is that? Is that? I think that is Texon. It must be Texon, it can't be Include having a blind I believe he's still there, as he just going up to the chicane there, as Asteroid looking very cautiously behind. Enemy mine there pressuring him. He will have turn if he, yes he can indeed, and he will get DRS. I think he'll get a very good run down here, and Chris B is in fact just not even going to bother trying to defend that. There's nothing he can do without getting penalised from defending that, and has indeed made it up to second place, but he's going to challenge as enemy mine has taken a wide line. Oh, and they nearly made contact, and Chris B did very well to avoid that. Enemy mine keeping his in that situation. It's a 4 laps in. So here we go, enemy mine is going to maintain his second place as 26 slips further away. It looks like he's going to be leading the pack. Let's see what lap 9 and 10 will bring though for the pit stops. Don't know when they're all going to be pitting, but it looks like most of them are on primes, I believe. Yes, I need to take another look at that. I think Chris B here is on primes. I believe the white rims are the primes on Spa. So the pack is now the runners, but of course. So the two Williams here looking very strong, both looking to catch, including T6. What we can do with the pit strategy. They must be communicating very effectively in order to make that pit stop perfect. And Asteroid's slowing up. He's got a DRS in here. Oh, and goodness me, Asteroid's still looking behind him too much, not focusing on the road ahead and going the track slightly, and has indeed conceded that position. He'll have to run wide, and that was fairly poor judgment there as he ran off the track looking behind him. He's taking a very wide line, but at the end of the day it is very difficult. MotoGP 3 taking it very wide indeed through all the turns, MotoGP, but he seems to be catching 5th place. I don't know who it is yet. I believe it's a Caterham. So let's see how the forerunners are doing. It looks like, including enemy mine up for distance still. Chris B ever pressuring though. And Chris B looks very quick down his final turn as he goes into the source, see if he can get any sort of DRS down through the end of Rouge, but I don't think they will. They seem to be going dreadfully wide around turn 1. It's very hard to master in the setup. So Chris B has got nowhere near the DRS, but there's still a long way to go, so it's there's still plenty of time. Chris B got a bit of clear space behind him, doesn't need to be pressured for another, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds maybe there, but he's got another 2 seconds just ahead of him. He has got closer, in fact. He's about a second behind now. If he can keep this up through Blanchimont, he could be looking to get DRS very soon. It's all about the DRS this season. Many have complained it's in fact too overpowered, but I don't think so personally. I think it's a very fair addition to Formula 1. People can disagree with me if they want, but there we go. So he has made up a bit of time from the last lap, got his nice fresh bar of curves, but so has everyone else, so we'll be looking to... Oh, and in fact he's run very wide and in fact been slowed down, but so it looks like he's lost any chances of getting DRS. But like I said, he has got clear air. He's got about 3, maybe 4 seconds behind him as Fujin runs in 4th place, and AM39844 running in 5th place. That's very hard to say all in one, but he has been challenged. DRS doesn't look like it. Looks very, very slow. But no, he managed to get a very, very good line onto the... a very good braking technique onto that. He seems to be maintaining his 5th place rather well, but he is getting pressured, and in fact so is the car behind for Sauer. I'm not keeping tracks of the position, so we're just going to have to see. So MotoGP Freak was the Sauber. In fact, I'm going to have to try and keep track of this or write it down or something, because I'm losing track. But as long as I say the Sauber, the Caterham, you should get the idea. So lap 7 out of 22, looking for a couple of laps time, we'll probably be looking for pit stops. It looks like they are all running on primes actually, all the cars I've seen so far. See if he can get a good braking on no lockups. It looks like he's got a very good setup when it comes to lockups. Made up a bit of time though, but he is ever pressuring on 6th place and might even get might even get some DRS, but I'm not too sure.
Go ahead, camera.
No whisper target found.
Just been informed that the race is in fact very, very tough for Texon at the back. He is struggling, but he is carrying on, as far as I know. But he does seem to be a good 10 seconds behind, probably even more. Very wide lines coming out of Rivage actually onto coming out of Rivage. Look, very wide lines for all the drivers so far. Fujin just going through Puron now. And getting all 4 wheels in fact off that turn, but yeah. So here Chris B, he's still in 2nd place, and in fact include 76, Enemy Mine in the other Williams has made up a bit of time. Oh, AM39844 has conceded a position to the Sauber of Asteroid Seoul, MotoGP Freak, and now it's the 2 McLaren running in 6th and 7th. He's going to challenge for turn 1, but he has locked up. And he is right behind him now. He'll definitely get the DRS down this, down the end of Eau Rouge, which will be very exciting to see indeed. We're going to stay on this camera for a bit to see what happens. No, we're not. We're going to go back to Asteroid Seoul. This will be even more exciting. See what we can get DRS on here. Using off the curves just to get the DRS zone, and opens it up. And it looks like he'll definitely be getting it there. And his teammate will be moving along. But he put up a fight, which nearly touched, but there's plenty of room still for both drivers. So Asteroid Slow taking 6th place from his teammate, who is AM398844. I said his name wrong, but you understand. So McLaren's with a very, very fair fight there, and Asteroid Slow will be looking to catch this driver ahead of him. I believe it's MotoGP Freak. Seems to be going very slowly around Sector 2 here. See if he can improve onto Sector 3. Oh, he just kissed the gravel there, did he? Not quite sure. So Asteroid Seoul is going to be catching him as we go round Blanchimont. Let's see what he can do on to the last turn. Move further up the field to Finn. He's in 4th place, looking very secure, and Crispy has taken a pit stop. This is lap 10 he's on to. He has changed. No, he hasn't yet. No, but he's just fitting the option tyres here, was he? Yes, that's right. He's just fitting the option tyres for the remaining stint. It might have been the other way round, actually. Yes, and I think it is. I think the dark grey ones are the primes, so they started on the options. It's very different on the other races. I get very confused sometimes, but that's just the way it goes. So AM39844, I said it right that time, is still in 6th place behind his McLaren teammate. And in fact, MotoGP Freak up in 4th place, that must be now, due to... Okay, well, yes, apparently there is a delay between comments and video, but there's nothing we can do about that now. Oh, and the McLaren's run dreadfully wide. That is, what's his name? Asteroid Seoul and AM398844 has recollected 5th place from his teammate. Don't know what happened there. Might have to see it again once it gets published onto Twitch. So he has regained 5th place, and his teammate slipped behind a little bit, about the same gap that it was before he overtook, finishing off his bar of curves there. So we're going to move a little bit further up the field to Fujin, who is now in 3rd place. Include 76, the race leader, has taken a pit stop, and Fujin goes into a pit stop as well, only in 3rd, but that will soon drop down unless the other drivers behind him are pitting. No, one of the Mercedes are carrying on, it looks like. That is Asteroid Seoul who is carrying on, and Fujin now with his prying tyres on to go for the other 11 laps. So there's 11 thrilling laps left to go. Can he stay in the pit lane boundary? Yes, he can. Asteroid Seoul just going through a rouge there. MotoGP Freak is carrying on now in 3rd place, but he's yet to make a stop, I believe. Otherwise he'd be down into, in 6th place again, where he was before the pit stops occurred. Include 76 into 2nd place, down into 2nd place, but that must be because the driver ahead has not taken a stop yet, unless I've seen a missing mess up by him, but I don't doubt his abilities. Enemy mine is up into 1st place, just switching some cameras there to take a little look. The lap record for this guy, his best lap of the race, 151.3, and is on new tyres, I would have thought. And I reckon he's probably pitting now, because those tyres do look a bit dead, and yes, he is pitting, so enemy mine is going into the pits, and Include 76 will regain 1st place. Yes, he's just done that now. And you can see him going down turn 1 there into the La Source, so down the pit straight into La Source, to continue his winning spell. So out comes Amy Mine. He's dropped down into 3rd place. I just need to see who's ahead of him. No, it is 2nd place, don't worry. It's all good. It was just, what's his name? I've totally forgotten his name. It must be AM39844 in that Sauber there, who has taken 2nd place. And Enemy Mine has crossed the pit lane. I don't know if he's been penalised for it. I'm going to have to get an update from my friends here. TroveGP Freak it was who took 3rd place, sorry, who took 2nd place, but was regained very swiftly by Include 76. Sorry, no, Enemy Mine. So he is going up into 3rd place. I believe that was better than... So GP Freak, it's 1 or 2, probably nearer 4 or 5 seconds between 4th place, and just a little lock-up there, and in fact a fairly costly lock-up, but he seems to be maintaining his all 4 wheels off the track there, but I reckon that will go unnoticed as he goes into La Source now. Very good, very wide line, but manages to stay on the track is Enemy Mine, but he's zoomed ahead. The curve's being used up by MotoGP Freak. Asteroid Seoul into 7th place. I think that was what it was before the pit stop. But it looks like both the McLarens have come out side by side once again. Looks like DRS for Asteroid Seoul. Yes, he's going to get it. Doesn't even need his curve. He can save that for later. Oh, and there was a bit of contact there. Don't know what happened to the other Mercedes. Can't quite see it yet. Sorry, the McLaren, not Mercedes. But he has got 6th place. Oh, and he spun off. Oh, and they're both off. Goodness me, that was all too quick to happen. They're both off. And one of them's lost their front wing. The other one, I think they both lost their front wing in fact. And they'll be limping back to the pit lane, and it looks like both of these McLarens now, yeah, looks like a retirement for Asteroid Seoul, unless he just ran dreadfully wide. Yes, I think he has retired, but in fact AM39 seems to be carrying on. He doesn't have too much damage, funnily enough. He only has his end plate knocked off slightly. Looks like Asteroid Seoul just took a perfect line, but just clipped the apex on the way out of Lacoon and spun off into the wall. Couldn't do anything about it. And AM39, I don't know what happened to him. I wasn't quite seeing, unless they both did the same thing, but that wouldn't really be believable. But you never know, things can happen like that. Never seen it myself, but you know, can happen. So that's what I gather from that incident. Lap 13 out of 22. MotoGP Freak hadn't even pitted, it seemed, so that's why he was stuck up there in 3rd place. That answers a few questions. So that's the 2nd Williams, I believe. That would be Chris B going up into 4th place again. Getting a bit of confusion from the spin from Asteroid. Just where MotoGP Freak went there on the exit of Lacoon, he clipped the apex and locked up, but the lockup was just too large, he couldn't control it, and spun off. And then AM39, is that his name? AM39844 must have followed him, unless he's just lost faith in the car and careered into his teammates, but I didn't see anything happening to... Oh, MotoGP just running off the racing line there a bit. But I didn't see anything wrong with AM39. I didn't see what happened because the camera was focused on Asteroids, yeah. But I'm sure we'll get a bit of opinion from them at a later date. But they were both running as if they'd just having a fair battle, and it was very unexpected. So GP Freak, trying to brave the extremes of Blanchimont, but he can only just make it. As Enemy Mine is in second place still. A considerably large gap between him and Include 76. A good 3 or 4 seconds, no chance of DRS. If it happened here, I'd be amazed. No DRS of 4 seconds. Looks like Enemy Mine needs to make an improvement on his lap times, even though his lap best is 1:49.5. Include 76 leading the race. You can see there the lap best 1:49.2 and 1:49.5, very close between the lap bests. But what can they put in terms of consistency? We need consistency from these two drivers if we want to win, from Include and a challenge from Enemy Mine. Third place is a very, very large gap now between second and third. It is good. Ooh, let me count. It must have been, I don't know. I cannot even count looking at the map. It must be about 8 to 10 seconds. Probably a bit exaggerated. But it's definitely a... Well, not definitely, but looking like a 2-horse race at the moment. But anything can happen still. Just 7 laps to go. Coming on to 6. As Include uses all of the apex there, just taking a look behind, good 2 or 3 seconds between them, 1:49.2 still the lap best, as we're going to take a look at Enemy Mine now. Looks like a battle for, and I can definitely see a battle between 3rd, 4th and 5th there on the map. Let's see if we can take a look at what's happening there. Chris B is still in 4th place, is it still in 4th place? Or has he gone down to 4th place? I can't remember. But he was running up in 2nd place before the pit stops. But he is being challenged from behind, a reasonable gap, but made up very easily in these Formula 1 cars. So MotoGP Freak in 5th looking to challenge on Chris B. Running at 330 kilometers an hour there, which is 210 miles an hour, roughly. I can't quite remember. Got a very good braking point there, and he's almost right behind him now, so he'll be looking for a very, very promising sector 2 and 3 to catch up with. They both run wide. They both run very wide. Looking at P1, apparently it's very close. Looks like Enemy Mine has really closed the gap looking at the lap so far. So we're just going to see if we can focus on Enemy Mine and Include in the battle of 1st place. Still looks very, very similar to the gap between 5th and 4th to 3rd and 1st. This is Fujin running in 3rd place, looks very comfortable there. Enemy Mine up, still in 2nd place. Not looking like he's challenging really, but about 2 or 3 seconds there. So there's still room for improvement from Enemy Mine. He's got about 5 laps left to make a difference on this championship. Now I just remind you that Include 76 leads the championship by 2 points, and he's used all of his race skips. So Enemy Mine has used 2, so he can afford to miss out 1 more race this season. But apart from that, that's it. So Include 76 is going to work very hard, which he is doing in this race. He's doing fantastically well. But Enemy Mine still looking like he will improve that gap. Include looked like he took a rather wide line down Lacoon there, but should be okay, so we're going to focus. We're looking at Texon, who has got up into 7th place. That's an improvement. I think he was in 8th before. Yes, it's Azorcio who must have had a front wing change after that horrific, very confusing accident earlier in the race in about lap 13, I believe it was. Oh, and we look at the battle for 4th place here. Looks like MotoGP Freak is right up behind the Williams of Chris B. And they both run dreadfully wide and almost kiss the apex. MotoGP fan to save the car from spinning out and going into a tantrum. But it looks like everything's okay. It looks like he'll be catching him very shortly if he can maintain the speed. Very cutting edge stuff, going off the track quite a bit, cutting the grass quite a lot. And they both took the gravel there. They look very tense up in here actually. A battle for 4th place, which would mean a vital amount of points to be won. I don't know how the scoring system goes, but I'll have a look at that in a minute. And there's definitely a challenge here, look at that! And the Williams of Chris B was just pushing out, and Fujin still in 3rd place, as you see there, but enemy 9 making a slight improvement, perhaps about 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds behind. Was there an accident there between the Sauber and the Williams? It looked very close. They were both locking up into chicane at the end of the straight. Looks like there's questions whether there was an accident there. We'll have a look at that very shortly, I hope. Here we go, let's see what we can find. Chris B on the Sauber's challenging, he's got the DRS, and that's... Oh! And there is contact! And he's pushed himself forward again. And goodness me, yes, he's going to give up the position. That was an unfair challenge, but he's dealt with that very well and very professionally. Oh! Just tries to save the car, Chris B, as he slips down into 5th place now. No longer following his 2nd place teammate for a points haul for the team. As Chris B slips. Looks to be pressure on the last lap, I'm going to think. Enemy mine is catching up, and if he can carry on, if he can keep going really well, he might be able to catch him. We just have to wait and see. Just 4 laps to go, so we're just going to have to wait. Oh, and very, very slow line there. He's doing very slowly out the 2nd part of the chicane. But they seem to have both done the same thing there, so it seems to be okay. Out the same gap between them. Going through a rouge now. It's too early to say if there's any DRS, I don't think there will be. No, but very little curves to run on for the rest of this lap for enemy mine. But we'll just have to wait and see. Perhaps this race could be down to driver error. Unlikely, but it can still happen. I wouldn't say that any of the drivers get the perfect line, but it is very, very difficult, so I won't say anything myself. Just take a look at the lap time, but include 1:49.2 is his best. I've been told that enemy mine is supposed to lay faster lap. So this could be very interesting to work out the end of that race. Kerpel Frere is where the old circuit joined from the start of Lecombe in They used to spin off to another 5-mile piece of circuit, which was closed off due to dangerous, very dangerous events over the last 50 years or so. The pre-war circuit was the nearly 10-mile circuit, 9.3 miles, which was first opened in 1921, which took the lives of many drivers each year. Enemy mine with a 1:48.6 and a 1:49.2, so there was about a 1/6 of a second between the two best lap times of these drivers. But that no longer has any effect on the rest of this race. It's down to consistency, like I said earlier. But can they hold on to it? Include provisionally will be looking at a second race in a row, which is very promising for his title hopes. As the enemy mine takes another wide line, and out of reverse they all seem to be doing that. As they go through Courant, they both do very well, like the pros. Just managed to avoid clipping the gravel there early on, but it's okay as he saved his tyres for the last turn. No, he'll just get up to 7th gear around this turn, which depending on the setup is quite hard to do through Blanchimont, but you can normally get 7th gear by the end of Blanchimont, depending on your setup, like I said. So I'm a bit of a long video feed there, but it should be okay. I think enemy mine's definitely starting to feel the pressure. It's just another lap and then they'll be on their final lap, so we're just going to take a little look further down at Asteroid Seol, who is struggling away after his accident, and Texon with no front wing. I wonder what's happened there. Gonna have to see if we can get an update, and he has run dreadfully wide. There's definitely something wrong with the understeer of the car, definitely without the front wing. Can be very difficult. So you see Include there in the other Caterham, his teammate not able to impress, but with a broken front wing, but he's carrying on going. No point retiring now when you're so close to the end of the race. It's even worth another pit stop just to get a bit of practice in the last lap of the race. So we're nearly there, the end of the thrilling 22-lap race at Spa-Francorchamps. And mine definitely look like he's catching up. The difference, the distance between them is looking very much sort of closer when you look at first place. And you can see he's definitely made up a little bit of time, be it half a second, because he won't have any cares for the last turn. Let's see if he was indeed, yes. Enemy mine was very good all race. He's been fairly consistent, but he does not have enough laps to catch, says my intelligence. But he's definitely made up a lot of time for this final lap, and it looks like he's really gunning it, trying to get that DRS, because he just going past the detection point there was that little advert sign, but it doesn't look like. Oh, and with that Asteroid Seol has destroyed their vehicle. We're just gonna have to see what brought that on and see if there was a collision with another car, or whether it was pure error. But he is catching up, enemy mine. I don't think he has enough time in the race to make this. But the pit strategy was very different, let's just say, to Include. It seems to have done the job, but it has not done well enough, because he is in second place, and I'm sure he was looking for first place in this one after a very good qualifying, a very good recovery. He does indeed, yes, have a very good chance in the hairpin, and he could definitely make up a late braking opportunity if he gets close enough, but I reckon he's thinking it's a bit too risky. As the race leader, Include does clip the gravel there, but they are not close enough, I don't think. I think Enemy Mine has got second place in the bag, and Include has got what he came for in first place. So let's take a look at Include as he finishes what has been a fantastic race. He does go for the inside line, but he has not made it and has run dreadfully wide, and he will claim second place. Include wins the race here at Spa, as Fujin has got a very comfortable third place, very, very consistent from the third place Fujin, probably the most consistent of the race, if you take away Include anything. Let's just look at the back runners. Texon with 7th place, which is indeed last position after the 2 retirements, one from the spectator himself, so that doesn't really count. But the 2 forerunners with a very good challenge. I'm sure Include would have felt the pressure if he'd gone any longer. AM3 just flipping the apex on both corners, but a very unsettled, let's say, race, and just waiting for Texon to complete now. No rush for him in 7th place. A very unlucky race for him, as he I don't know if he's made a pit stop. He must have pit stopped to fix his front wing after that accident, which I don't know anything about. A minute 50.6, very different to the 2 seconds slower than the enemy, but there's always room for improvement with it, and a very good race to everyone. So you've been here with me, Will, and thanks to my intel on the sidebar here on Twitch TV. And from me, it is goodbye. Thank you very much, and please check out my channel if you have time, Lord Willesley on YouTube. Thank you very much. Goodbye.